All right, now I want to build a view that's going to help give access to our clinical partners to the actual records that we're talking about within these distributions. So as they filter and look at the data, which we'll put the filters in later, they can come and get to the detail, the actual patients, because often that's what really matters to them. Or they would need that in order to trace this back to a chart or an example. And so we'll start a new sheet, and I'm going to grab some of the elements that we're going to need to help them identify this. One of those would be something as simple as the case ID. We'll also grab like the, let's see, patient ID would be helpful there, so they know the patient. Let's also get that. What else would I want? I'll get the case type, primary operating team. We'll do ICD-10. Oh, actually, that wouldn't help us very much. Let's instead do the procedure name. And then let's get these timestamps, right? So that's something that we're really keying in on. Let's get the arrival date time, the procedure start, procedure end, the PACU arrival, and the discharge date time. Okay, so I want these down here in the same place, but we're gonna have to do some work to this. So right now it's showing the whole year, which is not actually helpful to us. What we want is actually something more like the exact date. But when you do that, the thing that Tableau will always choose is to make it continuous. I want this discrete. So it shows up just like this. They got here at 8/1/2024, 10:55 a.m. So I'm going to do that with each of these. I'll pause this so I won't bore you with the process. Okay, there we go. Now we've got a very nice detailed view that gives a lot of information about the case. Where I'd like to set this is actually down here, and I'll rename it so it's meant to say something meaningful here. Case detail. In my dashboard where I think that would be handy is right down in the bottom here. Now my placeholder can go away. I can bring this a little bit further down if I want, just to give it a bit more space for visuals. And I'm gonna choose for this to also expand everywhere. Entire view there. Actually, that's not what I need, sorry. You'll see because there's so many records, that actually doesn't do what I want. I want to fit the width. So at least it will always expand out as wide as it can go, but then it'll allow us to go down. So next item, let's go back to this visual and let's use this one to put on those, filters that we would typically have. Things like the primary operating team, weekday versus weekend, procedure name, might even get the surgery name, surgeon specialty, and let's go ahead and grab the arrival date time as well. And let's do the month. I think that would be a meaningful way to do that, but I want month and year there as the choice. Go for all of them for now. Okay, so now that those are there, we can actually bring them out over here onto our dashboard. Not seeing the option right away. Here we go. Okay. Filters. Procedure name. operating team. And as I go, I'm going to get these in the format that I like so they don't run away from me. I like the multiple value drop down. That's currently set to all. One of our filters along the way probably got set to include some things, so that's why it's doing what it's doing where it's not showing anything, but we'll get that fixed once we find it. Get the procedure name. There we go. We want all procedures. Turn that into a multiple value drop down. Go to filters. We also grab the surgeon name, where we would have wanted all to start with. Make that a multiple value drop down. Weekday versus weekend is one of the things we wanted. Multiple value drop down. What else do we need here? Month, year of the arrival, date, time. That I'm just going to leave as is. I think that could be useful the way that it is. What else had we put over here? Let's see. Surgeon specialty we don't have over there yet, and that must be part of what's going on. So we'll come here and we're going to go to the specialty, say all. There we go, got our data back. Make this into multiple value drop down. I'll put this above the date so those are all together. So we've got filters out here. Something I failed to mention on the overview, we're gonna have to go back and set that as well, is that currently the filters will only apply to the visual that they came from. So we'll need to go into each of these, and this is what we're gonna do. Apply to worksheet, and we're gonna do select worksheets, all on the dashboard. And so we'll do that on each of these before I show you what it will accomplish, but I'm sure you can imagine already what's going to happen. All right, now we can look at the impact. The impact will be when we make a choice like general surgery team and only December of 2024. I'm sorry, I actually undid all those. Didn't need to do that. Now we are going to see the distribution of the cases just from that general surgery team in December of 2024. And we may even, go further. But now we have the distribution of what those look like, as well as cases down here for detail so that they can get to those. So that's a basic starting point I do for a detailed view. Let's go back to our overview and let's make sure that we've got these operating properly. We only have 3 filters here, so it'll be a little bit easier. We have to do the same thing. Everything here should respond. It's a great opportunity to actually come back and do another piece I wanted to show. All right, so now we can do things like I only want to see weekdays and get that information here. So that's how those filters will work across both. But I also want to go ahead and get this saved quick. Okay, so that's saved. And what I wanted to show is that we can go here to dashboard and actions. And what we can do is add an action that is a filter action. What we're going to do is when we select something from the heat map below, it will filter the heat map and the bar graph. And we want to say once we clear all of the selections, we want to show all values again. So I'll just call this heat map filter. Click OK. So how will this work? Now in our heat map item on the bottom, what we can do is select just weekends, and the information above will update, or select just Wednesdays. And now we've got a responsive element up top. So now you can see how to add actions to a dashboard. Okay, so now we've got two pretty good elements, and right now it's still kind of messy. You're seeing all of the different sheets here. This dashboard isn't named appropriate. Let's go ahead and call this procedure wait time detail. And we'll get the title on top. Like the other one, we'll go ahead and get it centered and larger. And this is what I want to show. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go to the dashboard, and I'm going to right click it and choose hide all sheets. And I'll go to the second dashboard here and do the same. So now what we have is just two tabs. All the other detail is hidden. And so this would be more like what we would publish up as the final product. So now they've got a final product they can come to and interact with that just is two tabs. An overview, where they can select the turnaround time they're interested in. They can select different measures of it. They can poke around at, what's odd about Mondays or Tuesdays. They can switch that to different elements like, I don't want anything in that second column. Show me it weekdays and weekends versus by the primary operating team, so on and so forth. And so that is almost production ready dashboard in, under an hour or so. So, a lot of this is because I was prepped and I knew what I was trying to build. But I hope you see the actual steps in accomplishing it are something that can be figured out, something that can be learned, even if there is a bit of complexity to it. There's a lot available to you to accomplish in Tableau.